Happy Monday. As you can see, I look like Monday is supposed to look, I think. That means I had fun this weekend. So, for people that don't know, when I hop online live, you can ask a question. And then what I do is I post these to my YouTube. So you can always go through my playlists through YouTube, and that's where you're always going to be able to get access to what I consider the important videos energy wise. All right. So today what I want to do is I want to tune in to this new moon that we have coming up on April 30th, 2022. And I've chosen my herbal medicine deck. That feels really important right now. I feel like nature is extremely important, especially where we're working with the new moon in Taurus. Taurus is very much about that feminine side of Earth. And it's also a partial solar eclipse. So if you don't know anything about eclipses, this is basically starting off eclipse season. And eclipse season represents change. So what you're going to be finding is like April 30th is going to kick it off. Plus, it's a black moon. And what that means is there were two new moons in April. So that means this new moon is going to be like extra intense. It's going to be extra powerful. So here you have a solar eclipse with a black moon, and it's in Taurus. And so again, and it's kicking off this new kind of season that we're going to be experiencing. So then we'll also have like a lunar eclipse, a partial lunar eclipse around May 16th. And this is in Libra. So we also recently had a new moon in Libra, and that was all about balance. So, sorry, I believe it might have been a full moon in Libra. That's what it was. So interesting. So if there's a lot of Libra energy, even it feels like, and that's representing balance, that we're really tuning into that importance of, you know, the right and the left side of the brain, being artistic, but being scientific. And for people that don't know, I've been doing a podcast every Friday at 12 p.m. Atlantic Standard Time called Weird Al's Podcast. Same thing. You can go underneath my playlist and watch the reruns of those. I've done 4 episodes. Every now and again, I'm going to have it on a Thursday, but I'm doing my best to keep it on a Friday unless I have a special guest. I'm going to make an exception. All right. So I have a lot to say in relation to this. So we have Hop Celebration. Okay, I'm really glad that this is coming up. So where we were just talking about that kind of intense, powerful new energy, and we know that this represents change coming in and kind of like giving us that kickstart that we need. It's definitely a time where we can really start attracting those things that we want. So the more we celebrate as if these things are already coming in, the more likely they are to come in. So it's really about trusting in the process of everything, okay? So for people that don't know, I do new moon rituals and healings every new moon inside of my membership group. So you only have to be a beginner in order to attend those in my private Facebook group. And then you can also address things that are coming up for you that way. And on the 29th, it's going to be at 4 p.m. Atlantic Standard Time. You can check out my event. You'll see that just through my Facebook events here. You can hop in for $11.11, or you can join the group. It's completely up to you. But we're going to be doing a vision board activity for that one, where eclipses tend to represent the next 6 months. So it's really important, I feel like, that we're starting to really amplify that. So it's not just like this one new moon. All right. So there's a lot of stuff happening, and pay really close attention to that. All right. So I can't help but feel like when I connect to everybody, my breath is feeling like really, like I feel like my heart's racing. My breath feels like it's hard to like slow down. So one thing we know about Taurus season, okay, so that just means like when the energy is in Taurus, meaning like all the Taurus birthdays are happening right now. This in general as a theme as well is telling us to slow down, right? So calm that nervous system down. We know how to do that, but sometimes we don't do that. And so that's what the recommendation is. So we have Open Heart with Celebration, really great cards. So this is almost like, looks like there's like a little dream catcher or like a vortex. And the way I see that is we really don't want to, at this time, absorb other people's energies. So that means we have to take extra great care of ourselves in order to not be absorbing other people's stuff, because if your vibration is low and you're tired, then you're more susceptible to illness and sickness. So illness and sickness is also other people's negativity, right? People's gossip, people's drama, things like that. And we also know that around this time, it's a really great time for planting seeds, doing gardening, things like that. So this could be literally, or this could be a metaphor. But what I get with that dream catcher too is like when you're sleeping, really, really, really go into deeper states of consciousness. So that might be like working with a dream tea, and I sell teas. It might be, I also sell tinctures, working with tinctures, because that can really open you up. So I can't help but feel like our health and our resting state is really important. So we want to get into rest and relaxation and find ways that we can open up spiritually even more. So self-care is going to be extra, extra important around this time. And by the way, I also, oh, people are talking to me. Me, please. Okay. Now I have a card reading or card love and light. Yes. So I did a painting for the new moon, but I'm not going to show you guys like and explain it until I actually do the ritual. So that will be a part of it. And also, if you hop into the membership group before, well, by the 29th, you'll get the replay for the full moon ritual that I did on April 15th, as well as a yoga and healing that I did for beginners this morning. So that's just like a little thing to help you guys get into that positive space, because I feel like some people need a little bit of support and reason to get in there. And the reason why I'm sharing that is because my last painting that I did for the full moon, we also kind of went through and explained a little bit about that. And what I do for people in the full moon rituals is I gave them privacy, so I didn't record anything that was like kind of coming up in their personal life. And then when I went to actually go do the healing and things and discussions around that, that's when I pressed record. So it's actually, they're longer than what I'm recording, but I wanted to let you know that. If you feel like you're missing out on parts of it, that's just why. So there are benefits to actually joining live and getting that support. So Sarah, when it comes to your new moon, hopefully you're able to attend the new moon ritual. We have wood betony grounding. So very much, and again, this is going to relate to others, very much related to everything we're discussing about the feminine side of Earth. So if you tap into the feminine is very loving, they're very caring, they're very kind, right? It's a feeling of wanting to give and not wanting anything back in return. It's just really coming from that heart space. And I want to share a story because I feel like this will relate to everyone. So yesterday I was in the drive-thru buying my mother-in-law a coffee. I didn't want one. And I knew that the lineup in the Tim Hortons was going to take a while. And I was just feeling a little impatient as we're talking about slowing down. Like I'm getting this for her, not for myself, not that it matters, but like I'm doing this like kind, what I consider to be a kind thing, going to pick her up, taking her out, that sort of thing. And I'm just like, oh my God, it is literally taking forever for this lineup to go through. And there was this man in a car in front of me, and he was just like, I felt like gawking at me. Like I just, you know, when somebody's eyes are locked on you in the mirror, and I'm just like, why is this guy staring at me? So I'm feeling impatient, and he's like staring at me to the point I felt uncomfortable. And I'm like, okay, buddy, whatever. Just try to not pay attention and just be patient and put on my music and, you know, stay positive, that sort of thing. So finally, the lineup goes through, and I go to get my coffee. I'm like, finally. And then they said, no, 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 you don't need to pay. That guy in front of you paid for you. And it's funny, when he took off, he had this dog, and he seemed actually like he was a very nice person, because I love dogs. I like dog people. And he just gave me a nice smile. And I was like, oh, maybe that's why he was staring at me. So I was like, oh, just that random act of kindness. So that's what I kind of feel like this is more about, is just like coming into that space when it comes to like money and like being kind to each other, human to human connection. If it is going for a walk with a friend, things like that. Maybe you're hanging out with a friend that needs a bit more support right now. Even if you don't know it, chances are like spending more time on people and caring for them and giving to them feels really significant in relation to how we can also ground. And then after that, my mother-in-law ended up buying me a pair of sandals and a money tree, which is really cool, which also attracts abundance and takes care of your space. So, Sarah, I feel like you relate to that, like bringing positive energy into the world and not sucking other people's energy and draining them either. And so that's where the balance comes up with that full moon in Libra too. It's all relative. So in the painting that I did for the new moon, I actually put like on the back of it full moon, um, that was on the 15th, and the new moon on the 30th, because I feel like they go hand in hand, and it's understanding the trickle effect that energy has. Okay, so that's going to be significant for more people to listen to. And then on top of it, I went out with a girlfriend, and she paid for my lunch, and then my significant other paid for the decorative stuff that I bought for the house, and he was really motivated to like make this beautiful like earthy wall so we can put plants on it. And I was like, what's going on here? So it's worth sharing because it's like, all right, good energy equals good energy. Keep it flowing, okay? So yeah, I hope that inspires you in some way, but it feels like that's going to be more what this new moon is talking about. So if you can stay in that like giving space, you're going to find that it all becomes like this trickle effect over the next at least 6 months. So if it is related to people and relationships for you, Taurus really focuses on the senses. So the five senses. So it's what we're smelling. So if that's like buying nicer candles for yourself, I also sell candles. I make and customize stuff for you. So when you book consults, we can discuss that. If you don't, you can just reach out to me. I can give you some recommendations. I ship and you can pick up, so it's up to you. And I don't know why, but right now I'm drawn to I have a fairy tree out back. That's that tree. And when I went shopping yesterday, I found this thing. You can't see it right now, and I'm not getting up to show you, but I'm like, oh my god, it's like a bunch of green dragonflies that look like fairies, with these little bells. And I'm like, that needs to go on my tree in the backyard. So really trust as well, because Tauruses, they actually like to spend money. They like to buy items, like physical things. So it might be like, just pay attention to that when you're purchasing something. If you feel connected to it, like, don't be afraid to buy those extra things like pleasure and gifts for yourself. That's part of self-care too. Okay. So may I have a card? Okay. So L LERP. Okay. Flow. All right. Well, this makes sense. I actually just did that yoga class this morning. It was very much about connecting to flow. We were pretending like we were a tree and we were rocking back and forth and reminding ourselves of the importance of stillness and movement, things like that. So yes, our physical bodies are going to play a large role at this time. So if you have like a stiff neck, which when I did the distant Reiki for people underneath my Facebook yesterday, that's what was coming up. Some people have stiff necks. That relates to control often. So if you find like your neck is like not moving very easily, that might be significant. So I'm also getting to get extra fresh air and really work with oils at this time. All right, guys, that's going to be enough for this new moon. I hope you guys have an awesome day, and we'll talk to you next time. Bye for now, and thanks for participating.